Afghan ambassador to the United States to talk about the resurgence of the Taliban. Saeed Jawad is the Afghan ambassador to the United States. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Your foreign minister was in Washington last week and was talking about some of his concerns about the rise in violence tied to Islamic terrorism. Tell us about what he had to say and what his concerns are.
What we are experiencing in Afghanistan right now is a spike in terrorist activities, which has three reasons for it. First, NATO is moving into the south of Afghanistan, and the terrorists would like to test the commitment and the capability of NATO forces. At the same time, the capability of the Afghan national institution and the security forces is not to the position to the stand to defend the Afghan people adequately. And in addition to that, the support that the terrorists are receiving from abroad continues. So my foreign minister was here to discuss these issues, and he was assured that the U.S. commitment and support in order to fight the war in Afghanistan effectively and to support President Karzai in his mission and leadership will continue and will be strong.
Now, among the statements that he made last week, he also expressed some concerns about Pakistani terrorists crossing into Afghanistan. Tell us about that.
Well, we appreciate what Pakistan is doing in the war against terror. We consider terrorism a serious threat not only for Afghanistan, but also for regional stability, for global security. That's why we are asking our friends in Pakistan to do more. And there are training camps in Pakistan that continue to operate. The Taliban leadership operate in Pakistan semi-openly, and we would like Pakistan to do more to shut down these training camps and also to make it impossible for the Taliban leadership to operate out of Pakistan.
And this shuttling back and forth, it seems like there's a shuttling back and forth, actually, of the Taliban between your country and Pakistan. What do you think is going to be necessary to shut them down completely as opposed to having them just running back and forth across the border?
This is exactly what President Karzai is asking for, to fight the sources of terrorism outside our borders. By that, we mean to shut down the physical and the ideological safe haven of Taliban across the borders of Afghanistan. Because if we fight just the infiltration of the terrorists in Afghanistan, it will be very difficult to end this business. What we need to do is to make it impossible for the Taliban and the terrorists to come into Afghanistan. And once they have crossed into Afghanistan, we should conduct large-scale military operation to send them back or to get rid of them. At the same time, we have to enhance the capacity of the Afghan police forces to defend the Afghan people and provide for reconstruction in the areas where the terrorists have been chased out.
We're talking with Saeed Jawad, who is the Afghan ambassador to the United States, and we'd like for you to join in the conversation. 202-737-0002 if you support the Democrats. 202-737-0001 if you support the President, and 202-628-0205. That's 628-0205 if you support an independent or third-party group. You were talking about the Afghan police. How are they working with NATO, or are they working with NATO, and what kind of an effect is that having on reducing the activities of the Taliban?
Our national army is mainly working with NATO. Most or all of the military operation conducted in Afghanistan is in cooperation between NATO forces, U.S. forces, and the Afghan national army. The role of the police force is basically to maintain the areas once they have been cleared out of the terrorists. In the way that the terrorists operate today in Afghanistan, when they bomb a clinic, when they kill a clergy, the role of the police is becoming more and more important and prominent in order to make sure that once this area is cleared out of a terrorist existence, that the capability of the Afghan police force, of the Afghan government, to deliver services and to provide protection to the Afghan people is enhanced.
And there's an article in Thursday's Washington Post talking about Afghan workers and troops in Kabul being hit by bombings. Has the Taliban become more emboldened? Are they becoming less fearful of the NATO troops or the U.S. involvement and moving into the larger cities?
Yes, they are moving into the larger cities, but it's not because they are becoming more powerful. The fact is that they do not have strong capability to force the NATO forces or the Afghan security forces. So that's why they are copying more and more the method being implemented by terrorists in Iraq and other places, which is mainly suicide bombing and going after soft targets in big cities, such as putting bomb in buses, which happened in Kabul a few days ago, but at the same time also burning schools at the midnight, and trying actually to prevent the Afghan people, the Afghan government, to provide reconstruction, to provide hope, to provide a sense of tomorrow for the Afghan people.
Our first call comes from Princeton, West Virginia, on our line for Democrats, from a viewer who's originally from Pakistan. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to ask a question to Ambassador that do you think that how much more Pakistan shall do to stop this terrorism? And on the other hand, don't you think it is good for Afghanis to stop providing the arms to the people in Balochistan, so it will be equal? Thank you.
Thank you very much. First, as I mentioned, we appreciate what Pakistan is doing. We consider terrorism a threat for Pakistan and Afghanistan. We think that the people of Pakistan are also victim of terrorism. And what Pakistan can do more is truly to shut down the terrorist training grounds, and also force the Taliban leadership who are operating out of Pakistan to leave the country, to turn them into the Afghan authorities or to the international authorities, U.S. and others who are seeking. As far as if there is any type of evidence that the Afghan government or anyone in Afghanistan is providing any type of arm or anything to the people in Pakistan, we will be taking it very seriously. We have discussed this in the past with President Musharraf and others. There is no program, there is no arm going from Afghanistan to Pakistan to incite any kind of unrest that has been channeled or it's been supported by the Afghan government. And that I can assure you that we do not. What we want is the future of the region to be in commerce, in transaction, in friendship. We consider Pakistan an important ally. We think that peace, stability, and security will benefit Pakistan the most. We see the future of Afghanistan and Pakistan in friendship, in commerce, in trade. Right now, my friend, Pakistan is importing to Afghanistan $1.4 billion worth of goods, and we would like to see this either further enhanced. During the Taliban, the Pakistan export to Afghanistan was only $30 million. I think peace will benefit all of us. We should give a chance to the Afghan people to put their life together and end the business of supporting extremism for the sake of foreign policy.